And we're live!
Yay, hey everybody, this is Nicholas.
And I'm Lindsay.
And you're listening to Two Bad Pagans Podcast Episode 6!
Yeah, 6! We made it to 6. Woo!
We did it!
We did. You sounded a little Italian there. Oh, we did it!
We did it!
That's awesome.
Thanks, I tried.
And this month, we are actually ahead of the game.
We are.
You know, usually it's like last minute. Oh my god, we gotta do this before the month is over.
I know.
No, not this month.
Yeah, I know.
And we're live!
Oh,
yeah,
there's feedback.
Oh, stop! And I'm Lindsay. Stop! Our bad. My bad, I should say.
Love you guys.
What's happening? Okay, lesson learned. Prepare for that next time.
And muted out.
I muted out. Oh, my own lessons here.
Yeah, you guys would be so proud of us. Like, we were just, hanging out, whatever, and we were having a day and taking it slowly. And I'm just, getting the podcast set up. And then Lindsay comes over and bam, we're ready in like a minute.
Yeah, it was super fast.
We're just awesome today.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if that's a good thing that we were like instant setup in no time at all, because that means I'm going to be even later next time.
That's...
Because this time I gave us like a half an hour. I kept pushing it and pushing. Okay, I got to be there at least a half an hour early.
Yeah.
But then like the next time this comes around, I'll push. I'll be like, no, I can wait 15 more minutes.
Yeah. I can get there at 5:58 when we're recording at 6, because it'll just take a second to put everything together.
Yeah. This is why I end up like speeding on the road to get to work on time.
Yeah.
Just one more minute.
Yeah.
I can push it one
there
more
won't
minute.
Be a train there.
There's always a train. And if there's not a train, there's a school bus.
Yeah.
I hate school bus. Those should be against
Kids
the law.
going to school, that's so necessary.
Well, in this day and age, I kind of think it is.
Well, that's...
Use the internet. I would have killed to have done that online thing that they do around here.
Oh.
Where you do schooling online.
That was so much fun with us.
You did that?
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I know. Well, I only did it for like Latin.
You took Latin in high school?
I took Latin in high school.
Wow. Do you know it now? You don't know it now, though.
Oh, dude, it was an online course. I totally just BS my way through it. And then I took my 2 years of Spanish. And it was like years ago now. I don't remember.
Right.
I have all my coursework. I saved it all in a binder, so.
Why would you say that?
Because I wanted to learn Latin. I'm like, maybe when I'm an adult, I will like actually care about this and actually, because I really wanted to learn Latin, but I kind of just BS my way through it because it was high school.
Right.
And yeah.
I BS'd my way through everything in high school. Like I did the bare minimum I had to get by.
Yeah, me too.
Which I don't think, it's not really like a sign of unintelligence or anything, because I understood things and I was smart and I read a lot and all that stuff. I just like, I did not give a crap about school.
Yeah,
and I'm like, a bare minimum, as long as I get a passing grade, I'm getting out of here.
What? I wanted to get like an A. I was such a nerd in high school. I was like, I need to do whatever I can to get an A, but procrastinate as much as possible and try to like put as little effort as possible, the least amount of effort as possible.
If we had gone to the same school and been friends, which we wouldn't have been in the same grade because you're quite a bit younger than I am, but but if we had been friends in high school, I would have cheated off like all of your homework.
Pretty much.
I know what would have happened. Like we would have got together before school, and I would have been like, "Oh, did you do yesterday's homework?" And of course you would have.
Yes.
So you would have pulled it out, and I would have just copied it.
Yeah, I did it at 4 o'clock this morning, Lindsay. I know you were up. Why weren't you doing it?
I actually, believe it or not, did not stay up that late when I was in high school.
Really?
I was like legitimate, like every night I had to be in bed by 10. And that was not my parents at all. They did not enforce a sleeping schedule or anything like that. They were pretty freeing type parents. But you lived out in the country, so how much trouble could you get into? And well, it's not like the city kids are going to drive out to pick me up.
Oh, that's true.
That only happened a couple of times.
Okay.
But I was like, I have to be in bed by 10 every single night because I believed in that whole beauty sleep thing.
Yeah.
And like I had to make, the people, I read a study somewhere where those who don't get enough sleep age faster than those who get a regular 8 hours sleep. So I was like, I have to be in bed at 10. That's how that important that was to me.
I was
I still get 8 hours of sleep though. I just stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and then get my 8
I
hours.
started my insomniac habit like in the middle of like 7th or 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I just stopped sleeping. I didn't stop, not altogether, but like until 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, that was bad.
Mine was due to an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
He stayed up. He was like 5 years older than me. So he was out of high school. We started dating. He stayed up later and later. So I would try to stay up later, stay up with him, and
yeah,
my sleeping habits.
Yeah, mine were always kind of terrible. And then sometime in the middle of college, I made friends with a guy who stayed up. He didn't, excuse me, he had a disability. So he was up. He didn't have a job. So he was up like whenever he wanted to be up. And most of the time he was only up in the middle of the night. So I just was chatting with him in the middle of the night. That was fun. And we had a great friendship.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But that's the only time that we'd talk. So I'd be at like this Christian college, you know, chatting away. It was awkward.
Awkward.
Awkward. Yeah, I stopped going to that college.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah, that was an experience.
They should have a pagan college.
Oh, dude, that'd be so much fun.
That would be fun.
They have they're starting to have like pagan programs and
yeah, I saw that a lot. I've seen a couple of articles and stuff being posted on like Facebook fan pages for Wicca and things like that. That they're starting up courses for it, and they should. I mean, if they're going to have like Christian theology, they should also have, you know, pagan theologies and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. At least pagan studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be good. I would go to that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm kind of tired of school at the moment. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely a research on my own, put in a documentary DVD type gal.
Yeah, I left college and I haven't looked back.
Yeah,
so.
I've always wanted to go to like a big college course and sit and observe, not for a grade or a credit, just go to learn. But then I heard they were charging people to do that. So that's kind of
weird.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called it. A friend of mine told me that you have to actually pay a fee to go in and observe if you're not if you're not a student.
See, the college I went to, I mean, no one else went there to just learn or whatever, but they didn't like do any attendance. I don't know how they would have known that you weren't supposed to be there.
Maybe it depends on the college.
Maybe. Or how big.
Maybe it's like a loose kind of rule, like so if you made it known, then you'd have to pay. So, which I would not make it known. I'd like come in with the hoodie and glasses and slink in the back so no one knows I'm back there.
Yeah, and if it's especially if it was an early course, that probably wouldn't work for you. But the early courses, that's what all
Unless I was
students
staying
look like.
up, so.
Yeah, because in my college we had a mandatory dress code whenever you were going to class or anything like that. So you couldn't wear blue jeans except on Fridays. Like there was all these weird, strict whatever. But you could wear a hoodie as part of the dress code. So like Monday morning, it was all like students in slacks and hoodies because they didn't want to wear like dress shirts because it had to be either a button-up shirt or a hoodie of some sort.
Wow. In a school like that, they could do like a hoodie protest.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be about, but everybody would wear hoodies to the protest.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, that's immediately what I thought. I'm like, that would be really kind of cool.
That would be awesome. Anyway.
Like they did those umbrella protests over in China or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if the umbrella had anything to do with the protest, but I know that their moms would go out to the parks and pop up the umbrella with the stats of their kids so that people could matchmake and stuff like that. That's what I assumed it was related to. Yeah. Random bunny trail there.
Yeah, random. Anyway, so you would totally fit in on Monday morning with your little hoodie on in the back of the classroom, like you want to kill yourself because that's how everyone looked at that college on Monday morning. Oh, stupid prestigious university.
Oh, poor Nick.
Poor me.
Poor Nick. I didn't even do the college thing. I didn't even try to do the college thing.
I tried to fit in. It was not for me.
Yeah, I thought about it doing the college thing for sure, but I think I was always kind of ahead of the game when it comes to figuring out what your life purpose is. Like I started thinking about it like way early.
Yeah.
And like I knew that I did not want a traditional job, working in a cubicle or doing the 9 to 5. I knew I wanted to do something that made me happy, and it was more important for me to be happy than it was for me to make lots and lots of money.
Yeah. And that's what I discovered.
Yeah.
But I'm still behind the game. I don't know what I want to do. I don't care.
New book. I'm going to mention it now so everybody else can look it up if they want to. It's by Dr. Wayne Dyer. It's called Inspiration.
Okay.
And it's got like, it's a white cover and he's on there holding a butterfly. But I read that when I was working at the Christian bookstore after I moved here. My life had kind of imploded and I moved here and I was reading that. And it wasn't until like a week after I finished reading that book that everything fell into place for me. And I suddenly understood it. Because it talks about who you are, who your parents are, the life you have, and how that it's a very spiritual book. Like you determined what you were supposed to do with your life before you come here. And then you just have to look at your life to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
And so then I did that and I'm like, oh my God, it was so obvious to me. And it wasn't even like, I'd been writing for years, working on Exalta, but it had never been a career path for me. It was just something that I was doing. And then all of a sudden after reading that book, it was like, it just clicked. And I thought, that's what I'm going to dedicate my life to. That's what I'm going to do.
Interesting. I like that.
And I think because of that, I paid off my debt. And so I was working all these different jobs, paying off my debt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go to college because I can learn everything I need to know about writing on my own. And whether you have a degree or not does not help your book sell.
No.
So that's what I've been doing, and I don't have any more debt and anything building up. So
I know. And I was paying, what really killed me was I was paying so much to go to this college, and it would have looked good if I had a degree from there, but I just didn't. I wasn't engaged, and I just felt like I was wasting my time. And I had a lot of grants and scholarships and that sort of thing, so it wasn't as expensive as it could have been. But I got out of college, and I was like, I'm just gonna work my way through this debt, and then I'll be debt free and see what I want to do before, because I didn't know what I wanted to major in. I didn't care. I didn't know what, I still don't.
Yeah.
But I didn't see why I was paying so much a year for something I didn't know. So I just left. I was like, see you guys. And now I'm debt free.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you may not know what you're doing, but you were still able to recognize that you were in a path that was just going to lead you down some crappy avenues.
Because I was going to people with school, and they didn't have any scholarships. They were taking loans. And by the time they were done with school, I bet they probably had about $120,000. $120,000 in debt from the college I went to, 4-year degree. That would have been insane to me. Like, seriously, how do you begin to start paying that off? I don't know. And what really killed me is, because I've been out of school long enough that everyone I went to school with has graduated, and they all graduated and got jobs minimum wage in retail. Yeah. Just like I had started doing after I left college. And I'd already worked my way up retail chain to where now I'm, full-time and got benefits and stuff, and they're starting off at Best Buy. Yeah. I'm like, well. Yep.
I experienced that too.
I'm debt-free and ahead of the game, and you're just starting out in the world with, like, mountain of debt.
And he can't help feeling a little bit bad for him.
I know.
That seems like that would just like tear him down completely. I mean, I would think anyway. Yeah. They've gone to college to learn this one thing, and then now they're not even doing it, and they have all this debt. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of feel bad for people that can't look out the window, because that's really what I like. Look outside of the box they're in. And I think relating this to paganism, I think it's very same with spiritual beliefs. You just, even if you're heading down a self-destructive path, you can't. Some people just can't open up and see around them. Right. And that's what finally did it for me. I mean, I won't go into the details, but life kind of imploded, and I was like, what am I doing? I need to take time in my life. And that's right around the same time when I started looking at paganism, because Christianity was very self-destructive for me. And I don't know. I'm rambling. No, you're not. That was a good story. I'm sure everybody listening was very interested. I don't know. Anyway, it just feels very personal to me. But life was crazy, and I just had to look outside of myself to understand where I fit in. Yeah. Because I just felt miserable trying to fit into this cube of what my parents wanted me to be. And granted, it was what they wanted. They wanted the best, what they thought was the best for me. And I don't blame them for that. But it just didn't work. Well, I think being able to look outside of the box or see life differently than the mold that they've made for us, think it's kind of a curse and also a blessing at the same time. So I mean, because of that, you were able to change your life course early on to try and guide it down a path that hopefully will make you happy and has made you happier since then.
Yeah.
It allowed you to meet me.
It's
and look what we're doing.
I know. This whole podcast would not have been, because I would probably be working in an office somewhere now.
Right?
God, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Not that working in an office is bad, but for me, like, not having had the last several years of my life would be very, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have known what I could have had.
Right.
But God, that would be depressing.
See, I think for me, what helped me, what kind of propelled me into looking at life a little bit differently, because I think I was just coasting all through high school and stuff. I kind of had these grand ideas that I would sing and do all these things like that, which I eventually developed stage fright. So that kind of went out the door.
Yes.
But I actually have a lot of my memories of trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I remember I worked at this diner in my hometown for like 5 years. It was a miserable place to work. The pay, I mean, I think I made $2 an hour or something like that. And we served mostly coffee patrons. And so like 15 cents per table, 50 cents per table, that sort of thing was not fair. Right. Yeah. I was working like long shifts. I would take over everybody's shifts who was just ready to just walk out the door and go, I don't want to work anymore. You want to work my shift? Sure, I'll take on another couple of hours. So I was like working like 10-hour days and stuff. And it ruined my feet. Like to this day, if I stand on my feet for too long, I get these horrible spiky pains in my feet. And it was just a miserable place to work for many more reasons I won't go into now. Yeah. But I remember sitting at the counter in this diner, so I didn't have anybody in my section, and just with like a napkin, like doing like a thought bubble of all the things I could do with my life. And there was a man named Joe, which I might have mentioned on here before. He kind of introduced me a little bit into paganism. He's sitting next to me. He's got this long gray hair pulled back in a ponytail type guys. And he's walking me through it. Like I said, like, well, I really like movies, so maybe I could own a movie theater. And he goes, well, but you hate dealing with people. And you have to deal with a lot of people into that. Like, okay, that's a good point. So then, like, a new bubble became hate working with people. Yes. But even knowing all of that, having all these things, stipulations and stuff, it wasn't until I read that book that I actually figured out, okay, I should be writing. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. I always find it interesting to talk to people. I think one of our previous listener mails from Cavaldra, I think is his name, he was talking about meeting people and talking about where you come from. And I always think it's interesting to talk about the moment where something just broke in your life. Yeah. You know? And moving on from that. I don't know. That's been like my theme of my life in the past couple of days. Yeah. It's just that breaking point and where to go from there. Yeah, you know what? This is slightly off topic, but then also kind of not. They say that you attract people of similar vibrations to you. Yeah. So if you're in a miserable place in your life, you're going to attract other miserable people to you. Yeah, yeah. And you're just going to become a big ball of miserableness. But if you raise your vibrations and you think more positively and act more positively, then you will attract more positive people. Yeah. And that's also kind of why they say you shouldn't use relationships as a way to make yourself feel better, because you're just going to attract people that are like you, that aren't happy. Yeah. You're never going to marry up, essentially. Yeah. You're not going to find someone who's happier and better off than you that wants to be with you. But I bring this up because, if you and I hadn't gone through our turmoil and things early on to try and find our new paths, I don't think you and I would have ever met. And we're a lot alike. We come from very different backgrounds, but we have a lot of similarities. Yeah. And it's almost like we're in almost the same place. I mean, you're still trying to figure out what it is you want to do with your life. Yeah. But I'm still trying to make my thing happen. It's true. I don't know what I want to do with my life. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I've got a good job. I wouldn't mind doing it for the rest of my life. I've already told him that if my books ever do super, super well, I'm going to make him, we came up with a title today. It's The Executive of Awesome. I'll just be the EOA. Yeah. And that's like a fancy title for assistant.
Yes, essentially, that's what I'd be doing. She hates interacting with people, so I'll do it for her.
You shouldn't say it like that. They're going to think that I don't like doing what I do.
Well, okay. Of the things...
I would say the reason I need an assistant is because I'm so scatterbrained, and I forget things so easily. Like, you can tell an hour later I won't remember. It'll just completely be forgotten. So I need someone who's going to be like, okay, Lindsay, this is your 2:30 appointment is here, and you need to make sure by this time you're doing this stuff. Or like someone that will come in and say, stop watching YouTube videos and write your damn book.
Yeah.
You know?
Stop watching House now.
Yes. Whatever, I'm marathoning over and over again. I've been up since like 4 o'clock in the morning because I just keep watching it over and over again.
Stop watching.
Lindsay, write the chapter.
Stop watching Orphan Girl or House or what is it? Orphan Black?
Yeah,
Orphan
I knew what you're. I knew
Orphan Black.
Yeah.
Stop. Work on the beats. But then she'd be like, "Oh, you're such a nag."
Yes. Ass.
You person.
And then I'd complain about you in the vlog,
Yeah.
which you would have to edit because that's what I'm paying you for.
Yeah.
So you'd get to leave all that in or insert snarky comments.
I would take over the vlog and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
hey guys, look what I have to deal with."
See, there we go.
Hey, tubers and dubats, check this out.
And you start filming me in secret so people can see how evil I am.
No.
I just like yell at you and call you names, which is I'm kind of that way. Like I will call people names and harass them and stuff, but I'm doing it out of love.
Yeah.
And it's playfully. But like if I am recording while I'm doing that to my dad, it really just comes off like I'm being a bitch.
If you don't know her, it totally does.
I'm like, oh, that's gonna be really funny later, and I go to edit it and I hear that and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm cutting that out.
Yeah. What were you? Oh, not that we have to say the specific words, but earlier you said something that could have been taken really out of context. And
What did I say?
I don't remember. But I was just like, in our interaction before the
Podcast? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was just like, because I knew where you were coming from, and then it was like snarky wit humor out of love, not I'm being offensive and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was totally a sarcastic remark.
Oh, was it the homosexual thing?
Probably.
Okay. Everybody's like, oh.
What did you say? Oh. No, it was really funny. It was like, yeah.
I come from we're Medes, so I
Yeah.
come from a family of, assholes, and we say I love you by saying your face,
Yeah.
or something like that. Whenever someone says, I'm going to take a shower, somebody has to yell, thank you. Like, it's a rule.
Okay.
I mean, that's just, we're constantly picking on each other in my house. So that is like integrated itself into my humor. And I'll catch myself picking on someone and then realizing that they come from a very different family and they're not taking it the way I'm meaning it.
I think that's why we get along so well, because my dad is very similar.
Okay. I've worried about that a few times since we became friends.
Yeah.
That I was going to say something that hurt your feelings or you were going to take something the wrong way. Because I've been through that before.
My family's totally similar. Like, for instance, it was my dad's birthday the other day, and my brother, when he called my dad, my brother's wife is pregnant and due in another couple of weeks. Anyways, so, yeah, my brother, I know it totally seems like I was paying attention to you, but I wasn't.
I know.
I was trying to remember.
Ooh, shiny.
I was trying to remember. Sorry, guys, I have a cold. I keep coughing. I was trying to remember where the story started. Anyway, so my brother had called my dad to say happy birthday. And in the middle of the call, my brother was like, oh yeah, my wife's going into contractions and I think we're going to have the baby today. And my dad just ran with it and went to where my mother was and put my brother on speakerphone. And they both were talking about how my sister-in-law's in contractions and she's pregnant, And the entire time my mother's like, what? Well, we're going, what? Huh? They're both just like trolling her.
That's awesome.
That's my family. I dread April 1st every year. Because it's like, it's always a thing.
I love that. So I don't know how we got on that topic, but
Anyway.
I really quickly want to say, give a shout out to Sydney Kitten because she's watching. She says, "Hey Nick and Lindsay, I'm a little late, but I'm here now. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for coming to the live stream, Sydney. We love you.
We appreciate you. Shut up! I was trying to make a sincere moment.
I just wanted to have like that ABC Cares star.
Exactly. Or the more you know.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was going for. We appreciate you.
So this is how awesome our epic buddy trails are. We haven't even gotten to our lifespan.
That's true.
Like,
yeah,
we have our show separated in segments in notes,
yes,
so that we can sort of follow a track. And we're still on the first note, and it's like half an hour in.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
We are awesome like that.
So do you want to talk about how your life has been?
No, it's not really much to talk about.
We're going to see a movie today.
We are. We are. I'm excited.
We're going to see a movie called Mr. Turner, which nobody has heard of.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued.
I'm hoping it's good. It's supposed to be like, I don't know what era it takes place in, but it's like an olden times movie. And
a period piece.
Yeah, okay. The guy in it, he actually played, he was in the Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
He played
Pettigrew.
That's what I was going to say, but I wasn't sure that
Pettigrew.
was right. Okay, so yeah.
Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, he already played Winston Churchill on The King's Speech.
Or in Sweeney Todd, he played the Beetle.
Just give us full IMDb right.
Yes. Dropping on IMDb page.
Yeah, he's the star in it. He plays a artist, a painter. I don't know if it's based on true story, but it definitely had a based on true story feel to it.
It did, yes.
And he paints. People think he's a genius, and you kind of get this hint that they think he's losing it at some point.
Yeah, misunderstood artist. I think it's right around the time where it went to like modernist side. I don't know. Where it stopped being so realistic.
Okay.
Because I think he started painting like when pointillism came about and that sort of different artistic movements.
Right.
And he was just one of the forefronters, and everyone just thinks he's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But the music sounds beautiful.
Well, and we saw that it had a whole bunch of awards from the academies, like best costume, best scenery, best music, and usually I don't go for if they win a lot of awards. It's usually a sign I shouldn't go see it. It's probably,
so I'm kind of scared for you.
Yeah, I know.
Hard,
but in the trailer, I'm like, this looks like I love a good treasure of a movie. Something that's uplifting. That's kind of like my only key. It's either got to be an action or it's got to be uplifting in some way. Like those are my two things.
And I like really depressing.
This is like the one thing that we really clash on.
Yes.
And it's a good thing he puts up with me, more than he probably should. Because like we were going to go see The Imitation Game, which I thought looked really good, but then I had seen a segment on TV that kind of gave me the impression that it ended really badly, and then you kind of confirmed that.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, Lindsay, you'll be bawling the entire walk to the car.
Pretty much, because what they did to Alan Turing was terrible. But knowing, because I was like, I really want to see this movie. And so we were talking a couple months ago about what movie to see, and I threw it out there, and you're like, oh yeah, that looks fun, and I was like, wait. I know how this movie's gonna end, and Lindsay's not gonna like it.
Yeah, because we saw Into the Woods, and that took a very sad and dark turn that ruined me for weeks after. I'd make little snidey Into the Woods comments here and there in my daily life because it hurt me that badly.
And I love it so much.
He did. And then he'd start talking about the play, and you'd reveal things in the play that weren't in the movie, and sometimes they were even more appalling than the things that had been in the movie.
Yeah, because they Disneyfied it a bit. Disneyfied is now a word.
Yeah, there you go, Disneyfied. I'm sure it's been used before.
I'm sure.
So,
how's your life been?
Pretty good. I finished this round of edits. I'm done with the rewriting on The Beast.
Hooray.
Yes, I stayed up pretty late doing that. I had to add a new chapter. I kind of extended the ending action scene, and I'm very excited about it. I'm so glad that, you had touched on it a little bit, but then Trisha really pushed the subject. And I'm so glad that I have you two in my life, because you guys forced me to make the story even better. And I'm really excited about it. So I just got to go through it. I have to reread a few couple things, and then I send it to you, and you do your edits, and then I send it to Trisha, and hopefully she doesn't come back with a whole bunch of red ink that just to me seems like weeks and weeks of work.
Yeah. I'm trying not to talk now because I really don't want to spoil the story for the audience.
Yeah, don't spoil the story for the audience.
That's why
I would
really
hate you forever. I'd be like, end the live stream, delete, podcast over.
Podcast is done.
Yeah. That would be a problem.
No, I really want to say something. Okay, moving on.
Don't say anything. Don't spoil it.
Moving on.
I was thinking, though, that I was thinking about Disney's new movie, Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's really great that they're doing live act. They're like probably going to go through all their Disney movies and do live actions, at least the mainstream fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not that excited about, like, not as excited as I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think that I think I might have been more intrigued by this if instead of just rehashing their old cartoons into live actions, if they actually maybe picked up some book rights from retellings and actually made a twist on the fairy tale.
That's why I liked Ever After so much.
I guess it's a bit of a twist. It's a small twist.
A little bit.
Not that I'm knocking it. I'm going to get a quote from there tattooed on my arm.
That's true. But, I liked that it was different. It was a different story.
Yeah.
Cinderella was actually intelligent.
There's nothing that implies that she's not intelligent in the other fairy tales. She's just very submissive.
And just very, I don't know. I liked it.
I love that movie too. I've watched it a few times.
Good
but
stuff.
like they've done, like they did the Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a pretty fantastic movie.
I did not see that one.
It was, it's an action fairy tale. Mm-hmm. I also enjoyed The Huntsman. That was really good. Mm-hmm. That was the one with Kristen Stewart in it. She did Snow White. That was a pretty fantastic one. And that's a different take on the whole Snow White thing.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
And now they're talking about the new Beauty and the Beast, all the casting options that they're doing for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
I want to be excited about it. If I wasn't writing a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I think I would be more excited about it.
Yeah. I'm just torn because I think there'll be more interest in the Beauty and the Beast story, which might increase book sales for you.
I thought that too.
But on the other hand, if the book sales were really great, that means there probably wouldn't be a movie for another, section of time until it was
right. And there isn't going to be a movie. You'd have. Thinking of the most aside from 50 Shades of Grey,
yes,
which was massively popular. There was also Switched by Amanda Hocking, which was like one of the first massively popular self-published books, but that even has not been turned into a movie.
Yeah.
So there's pretty much guaranteed that there's no possible way any of my books will ever be turned into movies. But it's still kind of a dream. Because that'd be pretty damn amazing. And things are changing.
An extra in the movie.
Why do you get to be an extra? I'm the one that wrote the damn book.
Because I'm your EOA.
Like the director or producer will call, I want to have Lindsay in the movie as an extra. Oh, no. I'm the EOA.
Yeah, I get to be the
It was
like
so mad at you.
It'd be like, well, Stephanie Meyer already did it in Twilight. So.
Yeah, she did it in all of Twilight. So, then Stan Lee does it in all of the Avenger movies.
Oh, he does. And in X-Men. He's been an X-Men.
Yeah, anything that he owns, he's been in. He even made an appearance in Agent Carter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were shoe shining, and he lowers the newspaper, and he's sitting there. He says something, and then he's back up. And I'm like, oh!
That's fascinating.
I love Agent Carter. That's a great show.
I didn't see it.
I'm gonna go as Agent Carter for Halloween.
Yeah.
And if we do get pop cultured at Barnes & Noble,
I'm
gonna go as Agent Carter then.
We're definitely doing it again. Anyway. Yeah. So, Edison the Beast. How else is life going?
Great.
Great. Life is good.
Yeah, nothing terribly exciting to report. It's just all kind of Beast edits and that sort of thing. Daily vlogs going well, views going up, subscribers going up. Good stuff. Can't complain.
Life is good.
Mm-hmm. According to my Magic 8 Ball that I just bought, it says that I'm gonna experience some massive weight loss next couple months. So hey, good stuff coming.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. This has been okay. I kind of love this part of the vlog. She just recently got a magic 8-ball, and she's been doing this segment at the end of her vlogs where people will ask her questions, and she'll ask the magic 8-ball, and it's like such a cute little kitschy thing that I just
I like it a lot. I hope people keep asking questions because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It actually has given me something to look forward to at the end of the video because sometimes I feel like the end of the video is just kind of same old, same old.
Yeah. Summarizing the day. Yeah. Magic 8-ball question.
Yeah. So, although, today for the show, even though we've been talking about lots of randomness, we were supposed to talk about Book of Shadow stuff. We were. Yeah.
True story.
True story. So, because we are a pagan podcast.
We are a pagan podcast, even though it doesn't really sound like it at this moment in time. We are. Yeah, well, we had been, when we first talked about doing the show, we started talking about, well, what are we going to talk about on these, what are we going to have episodes about?
Right.
And one of the first things that we threw out was we should have an episode on Books of Shadow because, it's just cool.
Right. And we were going to do, a crafting day that same day. We were going to craft the Book of Shadows earlier in the day, work on our own Book of Shadows and then incorporate that into the podcast somehow. And we didn't do that.
We didn't. Although, looking at how much time we have left in the episode, I don't know if we might have to do another episode on Books of Shadow. And maybe we could do a crafting day then. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, we've already made the transition.
We have. Well, I mean, this could be part 1, and then
part 1.
You're and then continue on.
Yeah.
Because when we first were conceiving of the idea, I had never put my energy into making a Book of Shadows. Yeah,
you're way better at it than I am. I mean, you've already gotten started, and I just kind of have the book, and I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, because I don't know. It was always an intriguing concept, even when I didn't know of paganism or Wiccanism or whatever as a more intimate spiritual path for myself. I always thought it was fascinating, to have your own tome. I liked that a lot.
I think it's kind of an idea that pulls in a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think that a lot of the allure to paganism, aside from the spiritual stuff, it's also the sense of ownership to something that is yours.
Yeah.
You have the secret covens and the secret languages, and now you have the books that you keep secret. And then when you do a spell, you're not supposed to talk about the spell and things like that. So it's it's a little piece of something that is yours that no one else is supposed to have, and you can kind of put
do
away.
With what you want. Yeah, and then I don't know. I always thought that was fascinating. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just as I was researching it, I was like, we could talk about so many different aspects of this. On my show notes, I have 10 different subcategories that we could talk about.
Right.
Because it's just so much. And I'm afraid that it's going to be
fly through it in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then we didn't do our typical rabbit trail on all these different bullet points.
Right.
So that was 5 minutes. Yay. Anyway, so we just want to talk about a couple of things that we found interesting.
Yeah.
So things like what to include, if you're going to do one yourself, what to make them out of, some crafting ideas, if you wanted to buy one pre-made that's made.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
You can go on eBay and there are so many pre-made Book of Shadows that you can buy, and it's buco bucks.
Yeah. But they're fancy.
They are super fancy.
Nice.
And they're huge. They're the size of this table type huge.
Yeah. I kind of want
Where would you see? I think it pulls on that every time we watch Hocus Pocus or Charmed or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, all these types of movies that you watch, they have these massive tomes. They're usually they're craft related, they're family related, it's all ties in, it's everything right there.
Yeah.
And we like that they look old and used and mystical and special and all that awesomeness. I think that's what people want, so they go and they pay $600, $700 to make that happen.
Did you know that the Book of Shadows on Charmed was the most expensive set piece they ever had?
I'm not surprised.
Because it was all hand drawn and
People always reference the Book of Shadows on Charmed. I mean, you can find lots of replicas that people actually put pagan stuff in on eBay and buy that.
It was a beautiful book. I always thought it looked really fake, but I mean, like fakely old.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't ever really think it looked actually old, but it was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot.
I'd say for me, the reason I have not started my Book of Shadows is because I always feel like I'm always changing.
Yeah.
And I can't change my book with me. Once you make it, you've made it. Unless you do the whole binder thing, which a lot of people do, but I don't like the binder.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And you can decorate up a binder to make it look cool. We did that in 4-H, but it's not. You got a big hunk of metal and rings in the middle of the book. It's still not going to look like what you want.
See, and I discovered this as I was making my own. I went out to the bookstore and I bought. Excuse me, guys. I bought a simple sketching journal that had like a glue back binding, and I should bring it on the podcast sometimes so the live streamers can see it. But it's just a simple, like it's got black craft cardboard almost as the edges.
Right.
And it will lay flat for you. But I was writing something in, I think I was writing in a basic chant for smudging your house.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember you messaged me about it. You wanted to know what I said.
Yes. And so I was writing it into my book, and then I smudged the house. And then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I leave some of the smudge on the paper? So I did, but there's like an active piece of coal on it, and it burned through the pages. So I learned.
And this is how a pagan burns down their house.
Yes. Well, it wasn't like on fire. It was just like.
That's where my mind took it. Yeah.
So what I learned from this is that while it's a neat idea, your book can kind of move with you, because I sort of had to take a razor to it and cut out those couple of pages and rewrite it because it was bothering me that there was this little hole in the paper.
Oh, well, see, I would have loved that, because, like, a girl we work with, a friend of ours, Emily, she actually said to me once, I don't even remember what it was. I was like, I had bought this, like, notepad or something, and it was in this beautiful metal case with the dragon plant, and I had scraped it or bent it or something like that. And she said, oh, it adds character.
Yeah.
And she was so genuine about it. And, like, that has stuck with me. So whenever I ruin something or scuff something, I always think, well, it adds character.
And I agreed if the hole was not in the middle of the chant. Like, it was in the middle of the words. And I was like, I can't read it anymore. What,
See, now I've been watching a lot of videos on how to make Book of Shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
And being crafty, I think, is the way that I need to go, which is why I talked about us doing the craft day. Because then you can, write down the piece of the chant or the information that you want, and then you cut it out and you glue it on there, and then you could glue all sorts of various things on there and then burn the edges and things like that so it looks old and used. And the great thing about that is if I decide to ever move things around in the book, I can just tear that page out and then re-glue where I need it to go. And it still has that worn out, crafty type feel to it.
Yeah.
So it adds that character.
I agree. It just, I don't know. And the page, I just cut out those 2 pages and then stuck the chant on the next page. So there's still like some burn marks. It's just not burnt through the page.
Right.
So it still has some character. But now I was like, I guess I don't have to worry about the book changing as I change, because I can just change the book while I change.
Yeah. And one of the things that has stumped me recently is, I told you about this book. I was going to bring it today, but I completely forgot to. See, we talked about the scatterbrain thing. Completely forgot to. It was called The Witch's Journal. Cannot think of who the author is.
Oh yeah, you were going to show it to me.
Yep, I told you about it, and I love this thing so much, and it got packed away and I forgot about it, and then I was pulling out all of my witchy books and putting them up where they're supposed to be. And this book, it is everything you need in a Book of Shadows. I mean, like, you've got, and it's set up like like a crafted book, you know, with little bits here and there on each page. And you need, there's like a 2-page spread on Egyptian gods, and it gives you the rundown of each one along with pictures. And then there's the Greek gods, and it goes through every single pantheon of gods that's out there. And then it does your basic herbs, it does your colors, it does your astro signs. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
It's got everything you need in it. And whenever I need to do something, I just go to that book. And I'm like, I don't feel the need to make a book of shadows because it's all right in here. And I don't know what to do with that. I even thought about cutting up the book and putting it in a book of shadows.
That's one way to do it.
And then like buying a spare copy and storing it away in case I somehow ruin
In the process.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds interesting to me. I really want to read it.
It's not really a book that you sit down and read. It's like a reference book.
Yeah.
It's like all the stuff that you need to know right then and there, and boom.
I know.
It's not very thick and it's not very attractive. It's like a basic hardcover book. I bought it in the bargain section at Barnes & Noble.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was like I use it for everything.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like you can look up stuff, like if you need to know what colors are really good for this, and then you Google it and you'll get like 15 different answers.
Yeah.
And this book, you know, it tells you what
spells it out.
Yeah, it spells it out for you.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I'm sorry,
she keeps talking about it. And then that and your book on candle magic I want to read.
Yeah, well, that is a little deceiving because now everybody thinks I'm writing a book on candle magic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, are you talking about the Buckland book?
I think so. Because I don't think it's in print anymore. I was looking for it.
It could be. I think I was talking about. I got confused because I had another work in progress called Candle Magic that was not about candle magic.
No.
But there was this. If we're thinking about the same thing, I have this book. I think it's by Raymond Buckland, and he has it's like basic candle magic.
Yeah.
And each page on the left side is the pagan way. On the right side is the Christian spell way.
Yeah.
And each one has the pagan and then the Christian. Pagan and Christian.
Interesting.
So Christian witchcraft, basically.
Yeah, interesting. I really want to read it. And if anyone has any suggestions for candle magic, for some reason it's really intriguing me, but I can't find that many good resources on it. So if you have any good resources on candle magic, would you email me at toobadpaganspodcast@gmail.com? Because I am really intrigued. And I can't see
you and I are both really into the whole candle magic thing.
Yeah. And
I mean, I think I expand a little bit more into herbs and stuff than you do, but
I think I would be into it. I just don't have I live in an apartment, and so I have just a very limited amount of space.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, if you cut down the amount of booze you have on that shelf, you can put some herbs on there.
It's not there for long. But
See? It was said with love.
With love.
I have actually wanted to always make my own candles.
Yeah.
And
me too.
I've done it before, and it's a lot of fun. Like I want to do the basic, like string in the wax and then into the cold bottled water and then into the wax. And I've done that. It's so much fun.
Yeah. It always looked fun to me.
Yeah, and I had this idea, and I'm sure it's probably not like an original idea. I'm sure lots of stores and stuff do this, but I wanted to find okay, I'm gonna make a candle that's for, I don't know, scrying or future telling or something like that.
Yeah.
So then I'd find all the herbs and oils associated with that. I'd put it in the wax, melt the wax, mix it all together, and then dip the candle in it. So you have the herbs and stuff already fused right into the candle. Yeah. And I don't really see that.
And the intent.
In there, yeah.
Because there's magic in the making of something.
Mm-hmm. And you keep that in your mind, and then you make the candle. And I always thought that'd be really fun to do, and I just never have. Yeah.
We should do it sometime.
We should.
Like the Too Bad Pagans crafting special. You know, one day we'll look at shadows, and the next day we'll be making candles. And it's like the Too Bad Pagans band. The things that we want to do.
That would be hilarious.
It'll be like the Pinterest special. It'll be the Too Bad Pagans Pinterest account.
That's true.
Watch Nicholas and Lindsay make stuff.
Which we would screw up because we've never made candles before.
But I've seen enough YouTube videos. I got this.
Of course, that's all you have to do.
Just watch YouTube.
You know, I'm really into the whole tiny house movement, and I think every time I watch one of those videos and they ask someone, you know, do you have any building experience? No, I've never done construction how did you build this time? I watched YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There's a documentary, a young man about my age, he had made a tiny house, and he had recorded, his girlfriend is like a filmmaker or something, so she recorded the whole journey and turned into a documentary. And there's like at least one scene in there where he's trying to like put the window in, and you see him on his phone watching the video. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Everything is on YouTube.
That's my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do I do this? I'll just YouTube it.
YouTube it. It's on there, man. Who needs college when you got YouTube?
I know. And I think it's really fascinating. Speaking of YouTube and online stuff, one thing that I've been seeing a lot is like phone apps, and even in like one of Cunningham's books, he talks about saving your Book of Shadows to a floppy diskette, because it was the mid-90s, and he's like, oh yeah, witches are, moving to the digital age, and I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like a fascinating concept.
Yeah, I've seen you can download apps that are like digital BOSs and stuff.
Yeah, I have a whole list of them for whenever we do our podcast on like full-fledged digital options. But the one that I always used was called like Liber Umbrarum et Lux, which is the Book of Light and Shadows in Latin. And I loved that app. I wish she would make an Android version, because it was really basic. And you could change the names of like the god and goddess to whichever one you wanted. And it was just laid out really nicely, and it was clean, and it was simple.
Have you seen those new glasses? I think it's like from Microsoft, where, don't give me that look. This is going somewhere, okay?
I'm tentative following you.
They're like those glasses where you can walk around your house and things will pop up. Like there could be a calendar on your wall, but it's not actually there, and you walk around and the calendar's there. Mm-hmm. Or like a 3D model of something, and then like you can interact with it. Have you seen that commercial?
Yes.
Okay, so when you see that commercial, the logical step is at some point they're going to implant that into our like eyes and our brains and stuff, so you won't even have to wear glasses, which gets me really excited. Yeah. I'm like, I can't wait for that day to happen. Could you imagine having a Book of Shadows that way?
I think that'd be...
Like you'd walk into a room and you'd have a digital Book of Shadows right there, and you could flip through it, but you're not actually flipping through anything?
Or just like making a presentation on your wall and you're just scrolling through.
You could just grab the page and like fling it into your living room.
Yeah. And then as you're doing your ritual, you can just read the words on the wall.
Yeah, and if you forget something, you could quickly look it up without leaving your circle. Have you seen that cartoon of the person in their circle with their candles and stuff lit, and they got the attire on, and then they realize that they left the book inside the circle?
You just gotta cut a hole in the circle.
God dang it!
Oh, that would be my life.
Oh yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's right there. Can I just lean out and grab it? Not broken.
Not broken. I just break the barrier. Well. Yes, the 5-second rule works in magic.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
Everything with intent.
Everything with intent. I don't know, but I think the interesting part about having like your Book of Shadows on your phone or something, like what kind of energy is that bringing in? If you bring it into the circle with you, what kind of energy is that bringing in?
Well, I think the question would be, does it have any energy? Because if you have a working candle is a great example. A working candle, for those who don't know, a working candle is a candle that you light whenever you do any type of working. Well, sometimes we light them when we do our writing. Yeah. And the idea is that it's been charged with positive things and whatever you need it to, things that you need in the air while you're doing some sort of working. Yeah. And where was I going with this?
Does it have energy?
Oh, right. So the candle already has energy in it, and you use it for so many years and years and years, and all these different workings, so it has your essence in it. Yeah. So I can't imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, but I can't imagine that a digital thing will have your essence on it. Like this computer, I don't think has my essence on it. Clearly I've used it because I beat the crap out of it, but
it has character.
It has character, but it doesn't have my essence in it.
No, but does it have some wonky energy in this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Will it mess up
like some sort of negative, like hacker vibes?
I don't know.
That could be like a thing, like some sort of evil pagan that sends out a virus that like pops up and says, I'm sending negative energy your way.
Jinx. I don't know. People, what do you think on this? Email us. TooBadPagansPodcast@gmail.com. what do you think about having a digital something in the circle?
I mean, I'm not against it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you're worried about it putting some sort of negative thing off, then you could do a spell to prevent that.
I suppose.
Just like you would cleanse your tools before you use it. You do the same thing. Yeah. Just don't like stick your computer in water or something.
In oil.
Yeah. Stick it over an open flame too long. Well, how'd that happen to your screen? Well, I cleansed it for way too long. Fire.
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry for coughing. I don't know. Well, whenever I work, I always turn off all the electronics. Sometimes I even unplug them, and just so that there isn't excess noise,
Yeah.
and that, because it just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I get that.
Describe it. And
and then they say like technology puts off like radio waves and stuff like that, which we're being bombarded with all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to be bombarded with that while you're doing a spiritual thing that requires a lot of focus and attention. Yeah.
And I mean, even when I turn on some music for a ritual or something, I'll leave my phone, which is usually what's playing the music, in the other room, so I can hear it, but not overwhelmingly. Because I'm nuts. I don't know. I'm just nuts.
What do you mean you're nuts?
Well, I always think it feels weird to have technology.
Well, no, it doesn't really.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to say anything that would make people think that you shouldn't have a digital book shadow, because if that works for you,
yeah, that's great.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I don't use technology. Well, I mean, aside from playing the radio, because like I'll turn on some spiritual music and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I don't know, because I think it's a great option for some people. And maybe your energy works with technology in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been able to get it to work for me. I don't know.
And then when you have the implants in our brains that allows us to see computer stuff and things, you could have you could be standing in your living room and then digitally see all of the rest of if you have a coven members, and you'd see them in your living room, but they're not actually in your living room.
Just projected there.
That would be amazing.
It would be.
We'd have to start a coven just so we could do that stuff. Create some fake members. They just have generic features, and they just show up and
they're just AI.
Yeah.
This AI is just doing that sort of coven. This is how the robots will take over.
Oh man.
They'll be members of our
Don't go
coven.
there. Don't go there.
I don't know. Where did we go?
I'd do it. I think that'd be awesome.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. Anyway, so guys, if you would like to email us, feel free. We usually do a listener mail section, but we have watered down a bit too long. So,
well, did we get any listener mail?
Oh, shut up. I was going to make it sound like...
Oh, I'm sorry. I just like to be honest here.
No, we didn't get it. But
it's because we did it too soon. We didn't wait an entire month.
No, right? Because usually emails start to trickle in after 2 weeks after the episode airs, and we're on the top of our game today.
I like that you just told me to just shut up. Just shut up.
Just shut up. We're trying to make the magic of
make it seem like
yeah. No, but we appreciate listener mail. If you guys want to have any input on anything we talked about today or our previous episodes, feel free to email us at twobadpaganspodcast@gmail.com. That would be fantastic. And if you want to be talked about on the show, feel free to say, hey, feel free to talk about me on the show. And we will.
And we will. That's true. We love talking about you guys.
We do. It's so much fun. Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, DSAYMEAD. Just search me on YouTube, and I've got a daily vlog on there where I post videos every single day about my daily life. And if that's not really your speed, I have another author channel where I only post once in a blue moon, but it's going to be like book trailers and interesting videos, book hauls, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you just want general information about me, you can go to my blog, which is lindsaymead.blogspot.com, and everything is linked right from there. So you can learn about my books, you can learn about my YouTube channel, things like that. I'm trying to post on there more often.
Yeah, and if you want links from Lindsay, you can go to our blogspot as well, at Pagans.blogspot.com.
Yep.
And there's a page at the side about Lindsay and about me. That's where you can find links about myself.
Yep.
Really, I don't do all that much on the web besides my blog.
And stalk my comments, apparently.
And stalk Lindsay's comments, because that's what I do. But yeah, my blog is at justelevatormusic.blogspot.com.
Yep.
If you're interested in reading it, I've been trying to update more frequently.
I noticed that you changed your YouTube name to Just Elevator Music.
I did, because
trying to promote it more?
I am, and I think I might start vlogging.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to make...
Steal my thunder.
Yes, steal the thunder and make my... This is a crappy way of saying it. Make my brand universal.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. It's all about branding. That's why I use my actual name, Lindsay Mead, because I want to brand myself.
And see, mine's so generic. I'm just like, Nicholas, I'm just going to go with my internet name, which is funny because I thought of Just Elevator Music off the cuff. But I realized that it was actually a gem.
It is a gem. I like it a lot.
J-E-M. Anyway, I'm a nerd. Just Elevator Music.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Anyway.
It's a very dad joke.
It was. I saw my dad today. I can't help it. Anyway, so that's where you can find me if you'd like to. Yeah, life is good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you probably won't see us or hear from us for another month.
Thank you, Sydney, for your comments. She says, yay, Nick vlog.
See, you're going to steal my thunder. All of my subscribers will leave me and go to you. I guarantee it will happen because I've witnessed it before.
No, it's not going to be like that. People, I don't know. Anyway. I'd make it for life.
He would try to be like, no, guys, go back and subscribe to Lindsay. You're making me look bad.
You're making...
I told her I wouldn't do this.
I told him. But anyway, I'm thinking about maybe starting a vlog.
It'd be very cool if you did.
It would be, and it'd probably be like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Instead of a daily thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been filming for the vlog for about a month now. And I am
not posting anything?
I am not posting anything. So that shows you I'm gonna definitely have to.
At some point, you're gonna have to take the plunge.
Yeah.
And just go for it.
And just
I mean, you're not gonna get any views anyway. So
yeah, yeah. And
just throw it out there. Get your feet wet.
And I'd be there. I'd be doing it just for fun, and for I don't know, because it's.
Because I'm not doing it for fun.
No, I mean like. I don't know. I just like to connect with people.
Right.
That's why I do my blog. That's why I just for fun.
Right.
So,
of course. Well, if it's not fun, you wouldn't do it. Period.
Yeah.
It's too much work.
Yeah.
To run a YouTube channel.
Or a vlog or a blog or anything.
Right.
Anyway, so you can read about my fantastic New York trip over on the blog of mine that I love. And yeah.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody, for tuning in.
Another shout out to Sydney Kitten. She's still here and she's still commenting. Love you, girl.
We love you. Thank you so much. Feel free and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to watch us live and interact with us, or watch our past videos because it's fun. Or
why not?
Because why not?
And of course, subscribe to our actual podcast on iTunes.
Yep. Subscribe. Feel free and rate us and like us and all that sort of stuff. We appreciate it because that helps us get spread so that more people can listen to us and interact with us. Yay. Yay. Fun stuff. So thanks everyone for tuning in this month.
Thank you.
Blessed be.
Love and light. Oh, I gotta stop the live stream.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you. Thank you very much.